Hello, brothers and sisters and family. Some time ago, I was sad and complaining to God that things didn't go as I planned. But the Lord said to me, things may not have gone the way you planned, but they're going the way I planned. You know, we plan to get married, have kids, own our dream home, have a college degree, relocate, get our dream job, start a business, or achieve something at a certain age or timeline. And we do everything humanly possible to make sure it happens. But due to life circumstances or situation, it doesn't happen. Oftentimes, God's plan and timeline for our lives are different from ours. If things have gone the way many of us planned, we would have put ourselves in harm's way or missed out of what God prepared for us. When things don't go as planned, we tend to see ourselves as failures and even wanting to quit without realizing that God had a hand in it all. The very thing you may be angry about or mad at God for today may be the very thing you'll be grateful to God for tomorrow, because you come to realize that if not for that thing, you would have missed out on what God had for you. Sometimes a faith plan or dream is a blessing in disguise. I'm going to say that again. Sometimes a faith plan or dream is a blessing in disguise. Sometimes a faith relationship is a blessing in disguise. Sometimes not getting that job is a blessing in disguise. Sometimes not being able to make that trip is a blessing in disguise. Is this guy crazy? What is he saying? Sometimes an unanswered prayer is a blessing in disguise. We always talk to God to open doors for us, but God doesn't open the door because we are only seeing the door. We're not seeing what is behind those closed doors. When we try to go outside God's plan or timeline for our lives, God often allows circumstances and situations to keep us in it. God's timeline for Joseph to leave prison was not before Pharaoh dreamed, but after Pharaoh dreamed. And I believe that was the reason he allowed the butler to forget about Joseph when his position was restored. If Joseph had been released from prison the very moment the position of the butler was restored, which was the expectation of and plan of Joseph, he wouldn't have had the opportunity to interpret the dream of Pharaoh, and his dream wouldn't have fulfilled. Where I am and what I'm doing currently was not what I planned to do or where I planned to be. Yeah, but I'm at peace because the safest place to be is God's plan and timeline for your life. Most times, where we don't want to be is where God wants us to be. And what we would never have imagined ourselves doing is what God wants us to do. Oftentimes, where you don't want to be is where you will thrive, prosper, and make impact. God alone knows who's best for us, where is best for us, and what's best for us. I'm learning to say, Lord, not my will, but your will be done, as Jesus said when he was on earth. Things have happened that I do not understand, but I will keep trusting God and following his leading. If things are not going the way you planned, brothers, sisters, I want you to know that it's because they are going the way God planned. Don't compare yourself with others, because the plan or timeline of God for your life is different from his plan and timeline for others. God's plan for you may also be your plan for yourself, but where we get it wrong is when we try to make it happen our way, in our own way, and at our own time. When you try to determine how and when what you're not the author of should happen, or when you're trying to make happen in your own way and time, through your own human effort or wisdom, what you believe is God's plan for your life, you may meet with failure or disappointment. Just imagine if David had tried ascending the throne the very moment he was anointed king by Prophet Samuel. Abraham tried having a child outside of God's timeline, and we are still suffering the consequence today. God can make known to you his plan for your life, just like in the case of Joseph in the Bible, but won't tell you how and when it will come to pass. Your duty is not to try to figure it out or to determine how or when it will happen, but to believe that it will happen and be patient. The way and manner God's plan for Joseph happened was something no one would have been able to predict. Remember, his ways are not our ways, neither are his thoughts our thoughts. How many times have you seen yourself saying, Lord, I thought this was how or when it would happen, but it didn't? The fact that it didn't happen how or when you thought it would doesn't mean it won't happen. Neither doesn't mean God changed his mind. Let go and let God, because you are not the author and the finisher. God alone is the author and the finisher of his plan for your life. We must stop trying to finish what we didn't start. It was God who started it, so let him finish it. And it was God who said it, so let him bring it to pass. Sorry, those are my cousins. I told them to keep quiet. Whatever God has said about whom you will become, what you will have, where you will be, and what you will do is something that he alone will make happen in his own way and time. Your part is to trust, obey him, follow his leading as he leads and directs. You may have heard me say in my previous videos some of the things I've said now, but I just want to remind us of something. Things may not have gone as you planned, but they are going as God planned. And remember, that faith, plan, dream, relationship, job offer, trip may be a blessing in disguise. God may have kept you out of harm's way, may have kept you from missing out from what he has for you. God bless you.